Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how the actions are created in the Corsair CUE software. So in order to be able to create an action, you first need to map a keyboard shortcut to the function within Studio One. And as you can see, if we switch to Studio One, you'll see I've got a song open. It's just got a few tracks on there and we'll just be using them for the purpose of this video. So as an example, I'm going to take the remove function. Now I know this isn't currently keyboard mapped within Studio One, so what I'm going to do is assign a keyboard shortcut to it. So it doesn't really matter what combination I map within Studio One, just as long as it isn't assigned to something else. So the reason we can map any keyboard shortcut in Studio One is that it will end up being assigned to just one key on the Corsair keyboard. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to open the keyboard shortcuts section. I've actually got that mapped to Alt and F2, which I think is the default in Studio One. So you can see now that it's opened up the keyboard shortcut section. And what we're going to do is we're going to type into the search box at the top of the screen the word remove. So if I just do that now, I think it's already set, so I just need to type remove. And what you can see now is that Studio One has narrowed down the results to anything that says remove. So the one that I'm actually looking for is the console section, which is here, and it's the remove channel. So I'm just going to click on that, and over here in this display where it says enter key, we're actually going to try a combination and see what we can find. So all we need to do now is basically take a look at the keyboard, the Corsair K95, and we're going to select a particular combination and find out, hopefully, that it's not mapped to anything. So we'll try the control key and F1, so that's free. So what we can do now is that we can now assign those keyboard shortcuts to the remove channel function. So hit assign, it's now applied it, in which case we also need to just click apply and then hit the OK key. So that's now mapped within Studio One. That's not mapped within the Corsair software, so that still needs to be created. So what we can do now is if we switch back to the Corsair CUE software, which I've just got open here, you'll see that this is my Studio One profile. And just for those that may have forgotten, I've got 3 layers within this profile. So at the moment we're looking at the recording profile. But what we want to do is simply create an action for remove channel, and then we will map it to whichever layer we want to use. So let's have a go. Right, so we're back in here. First of all, if you watch the screen, I'm going to go to the actions. So if I click that, it now gives us a drop down, and currently what we're looking at in this section here is a list of all the actions that I've got mapped to the keys on this keyboard here. So you've got this big display of all the keys, and you can see the various keyboard shortcuts that are mapped. And then there's a list of them that I've created down here. So there's quite a lot, and they do various things, which I can show you if you'd like. I can also take some questions and comments if you want me to show you those in action. But for now, what we'll do is just create this action. So to create an action, if we look over here in this section, you'll see there's 5 buttons, and the one we want is the plus, and it's the create action. So it's really simple. You just click that. Down here we're now at the bit where it says macro. We're not creating a macro, we're just going to create a keyboard shortcut. So from this drop down we select remap key, and from here it's asking you what key function is it. So from here we then click the drop down, and it's going to be a keystroke. And in this box that says keystroke, we're now going to press Ctrl and F1, because that is what the remove function is set to within Studio One. And we'll also name this function so we know what we're doing. So remove channel. Okay, so actually if we look back over here at the actions, you'll see now that the remove channel function has been created. Currently we've not mapped it to a key on the Corsair, so this black box is still blank because it's not assigned to any key. Now remove channel is a function that can take things like VCAs and remove them, buses. So it's not an actual track, it's more something that you'd route to, and you can remove that. If you remember in Studio One, buses and VCAs don't actually display any kind of track information, but we can still remove them. So what we're going to do is, I think we will try and put this on the mixing layer, because chances are that you're probably going to use it at the mixing stage. So what we want to do is we want to copy this action and put it into the actions library, and then what we can do is assign it to layer 3, and then we can put it to a key. So let's try that. So we've got the action, again it's not mapped to any key, and if we look at this list here, there's a little function that says save to library, and if I click that and you watch down here, you'll see that it's now added. So the action is now ready and waiting. What we need to do now is select the relevant layer that we're going to save it to. So back up here, if we click there, we're going to go to the mixing and mastering layer, and what you'll notice is this view will change because the keys are a different colour on this layer. Okay, so select actions. Sorry, I forgot to change it on the keyboard. You actually need to do it from the keyboard, not on the software. So it's changed now, we've changed the layer. And you can see that at the moment, the action is still in the library. So we've not copied it into this actions list yet. And again, you can see here all the various actions that I've created, and they're mapped on this keyboard. So what we're going to do is go down here, and this time we want to find the copy to actions list. And if you watch what happens up here, when I click that, you'll notice that it now adds it here. So click there, and there you go, it's blank. So at the moment it's sat there, it's ready to be mapped, and what we need to do now is find a key which we want to use to map the actual function to. So just back here, I'm going to click this U key, and now you'll notice if you look at the very top left of the key, there's a little yellow icon. If you look at the other keys, you can see it there as well. So on the M key, the N key, B, V, they all have keyboard shortcuts mapped to them. They've got particular functions which they will do once you press that key, and you can also see them in this list here as well. So for instance, I have the A key, which is this one, mapped to transform to rendered audio. I've got E key, that's mapped down to the event effects, so that will show me any event effects that are on any events. Various, I've got quite a lot mapped on this one, and these are all mixing related functions. So that's it, you've actually mapped a keyboard shortcut from Studio One, and then you've got it assigned into the Corsair CUE software. So it's pretty straightforward, it's not particularly hard work. So what we'll do now is actually test it and see if it works. So back into Studio One, and what we will try is we'll just open the mixer, and we will just select a couple of tracks. So let's just take these last two. So I'll go Shift, and then let's just go down, Shift, Shift, and then we'll go Add V, which will add a VCA track for those two. There you go, you can see that it's now done. So what we wanted to try was to actually get rid of that VCA track, and we had the remove channel function mapped. So what we need to do now is, because we've mapped remove channel to the U key, all we need to do is hit U, and it's removed it. So I'll just show you that again, just in case you missed it. So I've just re-added that VCA track, and to remove channel, and again this will work with FX, and it'll also work with bus tracks as well, or bus channels as they're called. So just hit the U key and it's gone. As simple as that. So if you've got any questions in terms of how to do that process, feel free to hit me up with a couple of comments in the video. And yeah, thanks for watching, and next time I'll be showing you how to create a lighting effect to go with what's in the keyboard shortcuts as well. So thanks a lot.